Welcome to the Hollywood Raw Podcast. I'm Dax Holt. Over there's Adam Glyn. We got a great episode for you coming up today. Today is our Raw Rundown, where we go through the top entertainment stories of the week. And stick around because we got a lot of great stuff. We're going to be talking about Diddy's new job in prison, what he is doing behind bars, and why it is such a coveted job. We're going to get into Ana de Armas. Apparently not with Tom Cruise anymore, so we're going to get into who she might be dating these days. Sabrina Carpenter is going to be starring in a new movie. We'll get into that. Paris Jackson telling us the side effects of over drug use. And where the hell was Timothée Chalamet at Kris Jenner's massive 70th birthday? We found out where, so we will get into all of that. So stick around. Adam, how you doing, bud?
I'm well. I'm getting FOMO because, Dax, you're going to BravoCon this weekend, and I won't be there.
I'm. After we record, I'm basically going to go get on a plane and head to Vegas.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's exciting. I'm like, I should have went, and I should have went, and now I'm like, I should have went. I was supposed to be in LA next week. I was like, it's too much to go to Vegas and LA. Just a lot going on there. But now I'm like, man, I should have went. I'm jealous for you, but I know you're going to have a great time out there. Are you excited, and who are you most excited to sort of see out there?
I'm most excited to see Melissa Rivers because we haven't hung out in a hot minute. And it's real. She is one of the most fun people, like no joke, hands down, because she's so down to earth and real. And she doesn't give a fuck, and we have fun. And she is just like us in regards to like sneaky and like, you know, just has a good time kind of trying to like be around the celebs, even though she is a massive celeb in her own right. She's just fun to hang out with. So we got dinner going on tonight, and then we'll go to the convention tomorrow. But I think in regards to Bravo celebrities, I mean, I would love to run into Kyle Cook. I mean, we've had him on the podcast. I'd love to run into Kyle Richards again. Who else? I saw Gretchen Rossi a couple weeks back. Yeah. And I told her and Slade that I would see them in Vegas. So we'll see if I run into them. I don't know. The thing about BravoCon is it's even more than just the Bravo celebrities. There's a lot of other people that come out to do the panels and to interview. So I run into a lot of the other hosts for the entertainment shows out there. I ran into Kelty 2 years ago. I ran into Rachel Lindsay. So I just run into like a lot of random people because it's just such a big event. So I don't even know who I'm going to see.
I would say the person you probably are most excited to see is someone who I see pretty often, but for you who's on the West Coast, you kind of don't cross paths with a lot, is Andy Cohen. I think Andy Cohen is the one that you kind of get like a little bit starstruck. Like 100%. You get a different feeling when you see Andy Cohen in person. Would you agree with that?
100%. When I ran into him last time, it was like, oh shit, there's Andy Cohen. You know, and I don't have a personal relationship with Andy by any means. He obviously knows Melissa, so he came over. We chatted for a while. But I don't know him more than that. And he is a huge star and just has a lot of power, especially with Bravo, you know?
Yeah. No, I feel like seeing Andy in person is like, of all the people there, Andy's one's like, oh man, that's Andy Cohen. That's kind of cool. Like that's like Ryan Seacrest in a way. 100%. He's the guy, but I'm excited for you.
Everyone wants a moment with him there too.
He's huge. All right. Today is our Raw Rundown. We go over the top 10 stories of the week. How do we pick the top 10 stories of the week? It goes by Google search. It goes by data. And lastly, it goes by our personal opinion. But ultimately, it comes down to the data, what you guys are clicking on. Just like any single journalist newsroom, everyone sees what stories are the most downloaded, most clicked on stories. And we hit up the newsrooms and say, hey, what's going on there? And that's what happens. That's what we do for the Raw Rundown. Before we get to the Raw Rundown, the best thing to do to support this podcast is leave a review. Just go to the Apple Podcasts icon, put in Hollywood Raw, go to the bottom, and you'll see where you can leave a few kind words and put 5 stars. If you do that, we'll actually shout you out live on the air. If you've done it before, take your friend, your partner's phone and do it again, and we'll shout them out. Make it funny and fun. That's a good, So you know what, Dax, I used to do?
Hmm.
I used to call radio stations that nobody calls, and this is a true story. I would call radio stations that nobody calls, and I would put use my friends' names. So when Sirius Radio first came out, they used to have a gay channel. So I would call the gay channel, and I would call like my buddies who was in the car who were driving too, like, yo, turn on the gay channel. And they turn on the gay channel, and it'd be listening to the gay channel, and they'd be like, all right, next caller, what do we got?
Called the gay channel, or was it like Pride Radio or something?
Pride Radio, something like. I mean, it was gay. It was gay radio, but Pride Channel, whatever you want to call it. So it was Pride Radio, whatever it was, and I'd call it, and then I would say, "Hey, my name is Chris Vendemia from Union, New Jersey. I just want to know what's the best way to call, come out of the closet." My friends are listening to in their car, like, "Oh my God, are you serious? Like, you're really gonna out me on this radio? Like, say my name and where I live." So play a joke on your friends, leave their full name in our comments on the reviews, and we'll say their name, and it'll be a fun little game for you to mess with your friend on the
You're psycho.
podcast.
I love it.
Dude, I have way too much creative free time. But yeah, the Best News Sports Podcast. Dax, do you have a review that you can read for us?
Yeah, I got a review right here, straight off the Apple Podcasts app. This one is from Sarah Dykes, and it says, "My go-to pop culture pod, 5 stars. She said, Hollywood Raw is hands down my favorite pop culture behind-the-scenes podcast. Dax and Adam keep it real, funny, and refreshingly honest. I love how they peel back the curtain on celebrity culture without the fake fluff. It's like chatting with your industry insider friends who actually know what's going on. The interviews are always entertaining and insightful, and the chemistry between the hosts makes it such an easy listen every week. Thank you for making me laugh and keeping me entertained while I clean my bed and breakfast. You guys are the best." I feel like Sarah may have read her her review before. Maybe she tweaked it and it went back to the top of the list, because I'm like, as I'm reading, I'm like, I think I've read this one before. Either way,
it's okay.
Still a great review. So Sarah, thank you. Really appreciate it.
Still a great review. Thank you, and keep them coming in. Dax is going to be going to Vegas this weekend, probably getting some fun content. Check out our TikTok, our Instagram page, because he's going to be posting a bunch.
Definitely check out our TikTok. We're going to be going hard on our TikTok this weekend. It's going to be fueled with Bravo content. So make sure you are watching it, because that's where we will be posting, I think, a lot of our content. So there you go.
If you're not there, Dax is going to give you a full 360 experience, so you feel like you're there. He's going to give you tours, the sneaks, the everything you can take away from BravoCon. All right, let's get to the Raw Rundown, starting with number 10.
Number 10, Taylor Swift. She's got a new series about to hit Disney Plus, and she just revealed it on Thursday morning. She put out a little trailer for it, and it's called The End of an Era, and is going to be a 6-part series focused on her Eras tour. But the cool part is it's all the behind the scenes. So, obviously they did the series or the movie with the Eras tour. Now this is the look behind it. So you're seeing videos of her with Travis, her backstage getting ready, how they did the pyrotechnics, how they did the cool things where she like dives off the stage and then she takes this little cart and zooms over to the other side. Her getting out of that cart that looked like it was cleaning supplies, even though everyone knew it was her, but it was that cart that had the mops and the brushes and brooms, and they would like cart her out in it. Her getting out of that. It went up on her Instagram. I saw it and I was like, okay, I gotta watch this. And then by the end of it, I was like, I need to watch this series. I love behind the scenes shit. It fascinates me. And when you've got such a huge star and they're giving you a glimpse, that to me is like what I love the most with like series like this.
Yeah, it's going to be, I'm not, actually, what's so funny, Dax? I've been listening to more Taylor Swift lately. And I enjoy the music, because what I think of what she does well with her music, she just makes every song a hit. She's not making like I always say, Timberlake, he'll have 3 or 4 good songs on an album. That's actually pushing it. But then the rest of the songs actually sound the same. Taylor Swift's song, and when I say this, I feel like some of the songs come out very easy. Mm-hmm. All her songs seem produced very well. And every song, I think, appeals to everyone. It's a radio hit song, and I think that's what she does well in. And so I wouldn't say I'm a Swiftie or I'm obsessed with Taylor Swift, but I always love these like again, I'm going to use the word 360 again, 360 view of a celebrity when they do like a docuseries when you get to see what they are sort of are off camera, which it's sort of off camera, but she's still on camera. So I just want to see what her life is exactly like. So I'm actually looking forward to this. I'm going to check this out. I'm curious how much Disney paid to have this access though and have this special.
Oh, well, I feel like Taylor just takes cameras with her everywhere she goes, films the whole thing, and then is like, what can I turn this into? How can I monetize this? Which I love. But something that has really kind of made me mad lately about Taylor Swift is how the fuck did no one tell me how good the song Florida is? I want to know. That song was not a massive song. I didn't hear it on the radio once. I then was introduced to it the other day. It's her and Florence and the Machine. It is hands down probably the best Taylor Swift song, and I have no idea how it did not get more attention, more playtime, how it did not become a massive song for Taylor Swift. Have you heard this song?
I have heard the song. So you think
it's
that
so good.
Would you say that is the top 3 Taylor Swift songs ever?
Or maybe in my opinion, yes. I think it is so good. And I'm not someone who listens to Taylor Swift that much. Maybe that's the reason I didn't hear it. But I have had it on repeat a lot lately. It's kind of embarrassing to admit. It is that good of a song, though. And I think like Florence and the Machine has such an amazing voice, and her combined with Taylor, I'm just like, I've been kicking myself. Like, this song is not new, but it is like, I'm mad that I didn't get to be there on the rise of it.
I got a good question for you, Dax. What's the Taylor Swift song that everyone loved that you couldn't get into?
Shake It Off. I'm not a big.
I agree. I understand the appeal to Shake It Off. I agree with you. Listen. Shake It Off is one of the songs they play at a wedding. They play it at bar mitzvah. You dance, you hang out with, but it's like so commercial that it kind of throws you off a little bit. But you understand why it did well. It's like the Happy song by Pharrell. Yeah. Like, Happy. It's one of those songs, it's a great song. It appeals to kids, and all the kids you can play it in the car with your family, and their kids are going to want to hear it again and again and again. I understand why you'd make a song like that. It just doesn't really kind of strike a chord with me. I think
like Bad Blood, love that song. Great song. But this one, Florida, trumps it. It's so good. Anyway, that's my rant of the day. How did none of you guys let me know how freaking good that song was? Why did I have to discover it myself 2 years later? God damn it.
Number 9.
Everyone's like, this idiot. How did he not know about this song?
Yeah.
All right. Number 9. Diddy has been hired to work in prison in the chapel. So I guess this is actually a pretty coveted job. I was reading a little bit about this. It is one of the most desirable positions an inmate can hold. There's some undesirable positions an inmate can hold in prison, I'll tell you that much. But this is at the Fort Dix Federal Correction Institute. He is going to be serving as the chaplain's assistant in the prison chapel. So according to CBS News, he will now be working in an air-conditioned private office with possible access to food brought in from outside the prison by the chaplains. I know, that's a big deal right there.
That's huge. I would do that job just for the food. That's where you get paid in. That's the pay. Yeah, that's the deal breaker.
And it also comes with a unique privilege, apparently, and that is the ability to add inmates' names to the facility's call-out list. So that list determines who is permitted to leave their cells for religious services, medical appointments, and other sanctioned activities. A power that gives the chapel staff like a degree of influence over some of the other ones, the other inmates inside the prison walls. So this is, I would say, I don't know how we locked down this gig, but apparently it is going to be very good for him in there. He's already a powerful person, so I think giving him back a little power is kind of interesting. But either way, and then there's been a lot of stories coming out that he was making his own alcohol in there. Did you see this?
I did see it. So what is this? Because it's weird. I saw that story report. I think maybe TMZ broke that story. But then I didn't see other places really report that story. So what is the truth behind, was Diddy drinking alcohol in jail?
So it sounds like what TMZ had put up a story that he was caught drinking this concoction that was made from Fanta soda, sugar, and apples. And then you mix it all together, you leave it, and it ferments for 2 weeks, and it turns into essentially a type of alcohol, like kind of like a wine, right? It's fermented.
Yeah.
That's what they had claimed. I can tell you that Combs' spokesperson has responded to they sent out a message, at least to People Magazine is where I saw, and they said this was 100% false. This was reckless reporting circulated about him. He has not violated any prison rules. His sobriety and his self-discipline are priority, and he is taking them seriously. So they are refuting the story, saying that it is not true whatsoever. I would also think if they did catch him drinking, he probably wouldn't have his gig as the chaplain assistant. So he probably doesn't want to mess up in there at this moment.
It's so funny though, like working doing that job, he has access to, outside food. And, this has nothing to do with the Dax, but I'm just going to throw it. So I once sat with Larry David.
Okay.
This story I'm writing about, but I'll say it anyway. So I sat down with Larry David one time at a table, and it's a whole longer story. Like, how'd you end up at a table with Larry David? But weird story. But I pitched him an idea. I said, Larry, I got a great Curb Your Enthusiasm episode. You love this one bakery. You go there every morning because you love their stuff. You go there and you see some stuff, but then you ask them, you go, what do you guys do with the food after, like, at the end, like when people don't eat? Like, oh, we donate it to a shelter, to a church, and then they kind of, they donate the food. Yeah, distribute it. So Larry's like, why am I spending $40 a day in the morning to try a few things where if I just go at night, I can go everything for free? And so he gets caught at night at a church, like going nuts and eating all the food for, because he gets to eat all this stuff. And they're like, wait, you're rich and you could, what are you doing? So he gets caught doing that.
That's called being smart.
Yeah, but then he looked at me like, he was like, oh, that's funny. And then it just like brushed me off. I was like, okay, whatever.
Hey, I got a question. If you were in prison, what would be the one food you would ask to have the chaplain sneak in for you?
Well, you figure they got to have some fruit already. Like I'm sure in a church they were having. I mean, can you sneak me in some decent pizza? I guess. Like, I don't know. You're not gonna. I go pizza because they're not gonna get burritos. So it's like, what else could you? Like,
it'd be hard because I'd be like, hey, grab me an In-N-Out burger while you're out there, But
I guess so.
But then if you get a cold In-N-Out burger with cold fries, that's kind of gross. So what do you have that can travel, get in, and eat, and still is going to good? I mean, I guess pizza is a good option because pizza is good, warm or cold.
Yeah, but I'm sure they can get pizza in jail. You want something that's going to maybe keep it. I don't know. I mean, yeah, like you want something that you could probably get in jail because like the new inmates are probably putting food in their buttholes and just sneaking it in. So it's
what?
They're all sneaking in, like
food in their butthole. Get out of here!
They sneak stuff in through their buttholes all the time. But
that's like drugs.
Corrections
and
officers.
And they get searched. Get out of here! No one's putting food in their butthole.
Do you know a lot of corrections officers?
I knew 2 guys that worked at the jail, but they don't work there anymore.
I know so many corrections officers, it makes me question my life. And because it's like, why do you know so many corrections? I know them just from how I grew up. And they all tell me, like, yeah, I remember one of them told me when they had, I think it was like Lawrence Taylor. I could be getting it wrong, but like he was like, yeah, I had to like look in Lawrence Taylor's butthole. Like it was the most gnarly thing because he was getting arrested and they had to like make him bend over. And he's like, yeah, I had to like look in there. Like, how weird
that's part of the booking process is like, got to make sure you're not keystering something into the jail. That makes sense.
No, I don't. I think it was Plaxico Burress, the old NFL player. He's like, yeah. Do you know how weird it is to look in some NFL player that used to like used to have his jersey, and then all of a sudden you're asking him to bend over naked and look in his butt? He goes, it's a very surreal experience.
God, what a horrible job! Just looking in people's brown eyes all day, like, oh, like that's your gig. Like, hey, let me see your Cheerio. Come on, bend over.
No, but they get a pension and I don't, so I don't know. Maybe I'm starting to wonder what I'm doing in my life. Dax, number 8.
Hailey Bieber. Let me try that again. Hailey Bieber revealing that she had really never planned to sell Rhode, her big beauty company, which she ended up selling for $1 billion to Elf Beauty. But she said, I wasn't planning on selling it. I had kind of thrown out that number of $1 billion as a like, okay, if the number's right, like $1 billion, then I will think about selling the company. And then Elf came to her and said, hey, we want to buy it for $1 billion. And she said, okay, then, and went with it. What I didn't realize, she started this company up in 2022, dude. She made $1 billion company in 3 years. How?
Yeah. Would you say it's her, or would you say it's Justin Bieber, the Justin Bieber effect? Like, it's hard to say.
Well, no,
did she do it, or
for sure it's the Justin Bieber effect, obviously. But yeah. I think that she is also a smart marketer. She is a model. I think that she teamed up with probably a very smart group of people to make this happen. But like, I have my own business. I know what it takes to start a business. It's hard. It's difficult. But to turn it into $1 billion business in 3 years is mind-blowing to me.
I like Hailey Bieber. I know it's such a weird, like, what do you mean? Like, what they're not to like? But I just like her. I think she's very cool. I think she's very, like, in her position, she could, just stay quiet and, like, kind of, like, just be his sidekick. But she, like, puts herself out there. She's got, like, a cool friend circle. Like, Hailey Bieber's cool.
All right.
Random thought. I don't know. I saw a photo of her. I saw, like, her doing a photo shoot recently, and I was just, like, it just made me, like, oh, she's that pretty. She's gorgeous.
She does she seems cool.
Yeah, I just like that she's kind of she seems pretty down to earth, real. Like, I get her and Justin. Like, it seems like a good match. But you always see, like, videos of him, like, kind of like dissing her in a way. But it's kind of easy to cut those, like, small clips and put some sort of, I don't know, negative message around them.
I think that they're happy together. I haven't seen anything where I'm like, oh, they look miserable. I think people take them out of context a lot because people are always rooting for a fail. And I don't know why that is. Everyone wants relationships to fail, and you see it all the time, especially with Hailey and Justin. You see it with Taylor and Travis. It's like, why do people have so much hate, or are they just miserable in their own lives that they're always projecting everyone else to fail? Like, leave them alone. Let them live.
Well, I think we've all been doing that, but we did that with J-Lo and Ben Affleck. We were like, okay, like, we put the pressure on them, and it was like, guys, is there really some stuff going on? They're just.
I feel like I like people to find love. Like, I've been rooting on Taylor and Travis this whole time because I'm like, I want them to go the distance. I think it's cool.
Yeah. Hailey Bieber, congrats. She's a billionaire. I mean, does Hailey Bieber now potentially have more money than Justin Bieber?
Yes, because remember, he had gone through a lot of his money, sold his record catalog for like $500 million. So again, I don't know how much of the company she owned, like what her stake in Rode is. Obviously, she is the face of it. She started it up. Doesn't mean she owns 100%. I'm sure she had a lot of people come in, whatever company she combined with. All of that together, I think, equals she has a percentage of $1 billion, but I don't know if she has more.
Can you imagine that Justin Bieber gets in a relationship and marries Hailey Bieber? At the time, he is the breadwinner. He is the star of the relationship. He's one of the biggest stars in the world. But then all of a sudden, it changes a little bit. Not saying Justin Bieber's not a bigger star, but Hailey Bieber quietly becomes more and more and more wealthier, and now has more money than her husband. Sort of, it doesn't matter at the end of the day because they're all, they're in it together. Sure, there's a prenup if something were to happen, but it's just unique how that, if you would have told me this when they first started dating, I would never guess that. I would have never guessed that somehow Hailey Bieber would have somehow made more money than Justin Bieber.
You could say the same about Anna Faris and Chris Pratt. Do you remember when they were first together? She was the big star. She was the one that was everywhere. And then that dynamic also switched and he became the big star, which I think that is one reason that can actually ruin a relationship in Hollywood, because people have such big prides and they're like, oh, I'm the star. And then when it rotates and the other person becomes the bigger star, it can kind of mess with your head.
Yeah, I remember seeing Anna Faris and Chris Pratt come into the WB building in New York City, and everyone ran to Anna, and Chris was just standing there by himself with nobody around him. And I went up to Chris. I was like, and honestly, super cool dude, nice guy, so grounded. I was with some other employees I was working with at the time. Took photos with them. So great, so nice. And not saying Anna's also very sweet and very nice as well. So it's just unique how that kind of the change kind of happens there.
Yep.
All right, number 6.
All right, number 6. Let's see. Number 6 is Anna de Armas spotted with a new man, and this comes right on the heels of her rumored split from Tom Cruise. I mean, I feel like it was just the other day we were talking about Tom Cruise and Anna de Armas, and we're like, holy crap, these two are together, which was big news at that time. And now she was seen out with Marcelo Valente, I think is how you say his name. He's a partner at venture capital company, Babel Ventures.
Yeah, so I Googled him,
so they were walking down the street, and I mean, she's a good get for anyone, man. She is beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
But I wonder what happened if the Tom Cruise thing was just a momentary setup, and then she was like, yeah, this guy's kind of weird. I got to get out of here.
At what point do you say, yeah, maybe this kind of doesn't help my career? It doesn't really benefit my career in the way I want it to.
Just ask Katie Holmes.
Yeah.
It doesn't help a career like you think it might.
At what point of the contract negotiations of your relationship with Tom Cruise does it get like, hey, and you can't really be involved anymore in acting, and you're now a Scientologist? And she's like, whoa.
She's
I don't really know. I don't want to sell out this way. Yeah, this might not be it for me. So, she's with a new guy. Guy's probably got wealthy. Seems like he's got maybe a Spanish background, so they can speak Spanish to each other, and no one knows what else there's. I don't know. Who knows? But it's we'll never know what happened.
They're good looking. They'd be a good looking.
I can't imagine her talking about it, because I'm sure she signed the NDA before the relationship even started. So it's just one of those things where she doesn't confirm or deny. She just kind of moves on quietly.
Yep, exactly.
Number 6.
Paris Jackson opening up about how drugs have deformed her body. She did this video that she posted on TikTok recently, where she was showing how when she breathes, her nose actually like whistles, and it like makes a little whistling noise over. And then she starts to show, if you look inside, and she actually held up her like phone light, you can see that she has a hole that connects one nostril to the other nostril. And so basically what has happened is she now has a perforated septum, is what she says. And she said, look, this, she didn't say it, but she alluded to it, that it is from what you think it is, meaning drugs. And she said, added, kids, don't do drugs, because you start snorting enough stuff, it will ruin your nose. And it also makes it hard because she's a singer. She so that it makes it difficult to hit notes when she has a lot of things going on up there. It's not easy for her to get out the notes that she wants. So I'm actually I love that she opened up about this. I think that it is a good realization to a lot of people that might want to start getting into drugs out there, that, hey, this will screw you up for the rest of your life. She has also been sober for 6 years, so she is in a very healthy place in her life right now. She did say that she doesn't want to get it fixed because they can go in and there can be a surgery where they close up that hole. But she says to do that surgery, they have to knock her out, and then they have to put her on a lot of medication. And that is what she doesn't want to do, because as a recovering addict, she doesn't want to be given a bunch of narcotics, because that can be a very slippery slope. So I applaud her for going, my sobriety is more important than a gape between my two nostrils.
Yeah, Artie Lang has the same issue too. Like, his nose is sort of messed up from doing drugs, and the problem is they could fix it, but if they fix it as part of the recovery, he has to go on, drugs to kind of for pain, and you don't want to become addicted to those drugs. So it's a very difficult thing to kind of manage. My question is, though, surgery is something obviously everyone wants to avoid. As you get older, there's more injuries, there's more illnesses, and there's some things that you might have to get a procedure on. So I don't know how you manage that going forward for the rest of your life, knowing that hey, you might need to get some sort of health procedure that they might need to put you out. You might need some medication to recover. So I don't know.
What can I get away with not having to do? Right? Like, how tolerable is the pain? Like right now I have a torn rotator cuff and I'm going, I don't want surgery. So I'm doing physical therapy to see if I can just cope with the pain versus getting surgery. So you just figure out what are your limits, I think is what it comes down to.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess so. I guess so. So yeah, but I think Paris Jackson's cool. I mean, she kind of like is very like open book about this stuff. It's
what's wild.
I just don't know why. Are you curious why she's still famous though too?
No, she's
like she's Michael Jackson's kid. Of course, but that's all she is, right? Is she doing more things, or
she will be famous for the rest of her life? She is the daughter of probably one of the most famous people to have ever lived on this planet. I think that fame doesn't go anywhere. And I think what I like about her is she is such an open book. And it's shocking because of how private he kept all of his kids for so many years with the veils and covered up and hidden away. And so for her to be such an open book, I think it's really interesting.
Yeah. All right. Number 5.
Adele, she's going to be making her acting debut, and this is going to be in a new Tom Ford movie. I thought this was kind of interesting, but basically, according to Deadline, Tom Ford, obviously the fashion designer and filmmaker, it's going to be his third feature, and it's an adaptation of Anne Rice's 1982 novel, Cry to Heaven. And it's set in the 18th century Italy, but they cast Adele, and I think it's all about a opera singer, and so I'm assuming she will be portraying the opera singer, because not a lot of people can sing, portray an actress, and do the vocals for an opera singer, and I'm sure that Adele could probably pull that off. But there's going to be a bunch of people in it: Andy Newton, Colin Firth, Mark Strong. There's going to be Paul Bettany. There's going to be a bunch of people, but I will be very curious to see how Adele does as an actress. It could be really interesting.
Yeah, I think it works out well. She's very charismatic, as we know. Like during her shows, she's very good at like kind of improvising, talking to the crowd. She's got a good look. I think this kind of plays well into her. So, Adele acting, thumbs up in my book. And I don't think she's going to be doing like the Cher route where she's going to do all acting. But I guess if the role fits, she fits the role, I think she'll do well. I don't know if she's going to keep auditioning for things. She is in a relationship with Rich Paul, who's LeBron's agent, who is a very powerful person in Hollywood. So I'm sure he knows projects going on that he's submitting her for. But yeah. All good there. Congrats, Adele. Number 4.
Dolly Parton. She is turning 80 years old, which is wild.
Dolly Parton.
What did I say?
You said Parton. Did you just say Parton?
I thought I said Dolly Parton.
Oh, okay. Maybe I thought you just said Parton.
I don't
Dolly
know.
Parton.
I can tell you my brain doesn't always function, so there's a good chance I messed it up.
I was like, Parton. I was like, what? Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton, she is turning 80 years old. She sat down to do an interview with People magazine because she's got a new book that's coming out called Star of the Show, My Life on Stage. And it's all about her 7-decade career and what she's learned. But what I like is it's really refreshing. She's not afraid of aging. Like she's like, I've had an amazing life. I have done everything I want to do. I've lived my dreams. She goes, I've sacrificed so much in my life. She goes, I never had children, so at least I don't feel guilty doing all the things that I have done. And I got to really watch my dreams unfold in front of me. But she said, like, I really don't have time to get old. I am just so busy. I don't have time to get old. She's just the best. I don't know what it is. She is just such a lovable person. I had read a article years ago that she was the most trusted celebrity in the world. Did you know that? Like, people trust her and what she says over anyone else on the planet. That to me was wild. Really? I don't even know why. I think she's just a lovable human being.
She's just, every time you see interviews with her, she still has it. I don't know what she does. I don't know her diet, her exercise, what she does, but like, it feels like she hasn't aged. Like she still has it together. And I feel like she's always
Dolly
had the
Parton,
same look.
She looks younger than me. Like I look at myself and I'm like, oh my God, I'm graying out. I got wrinkles. Dolly looks better than I do. Same with Kris Jenner. I'm like, what is happening? They are twice my age and look better than me these days. I'm like,
we never see her without makeup. We never seen her done up. I'm surprised no one's ever caught photos of her when she's not all done up.
Yeah,
would be fun to see.
It would be.
Number three.
All right. Number 3, Sabrina Carpenter. Also another person headed to a new movie, but Alice in Wonderland. They're going to be doing a new musical, and it's going to be produced by Universal Pictures, and Sabrina Carpenter is going to be starring in it. And apparently she has been wanting to get an Alice in Wonderland movie going for quite some time. She had even sold one, I believe, back to Netflix back in the day. It never ended up coming to fruition, but it looks like now her dream of this Alice in Wonderland movie will be happening. It's, I guess, going to be based on Lewis Carroll's obviously trippy novel, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I just don't know if I need an Alice in Wonderland another movie. I'm happy to watch Sabrina Carpenter. I know she's a phenomenal actress. She obviously got her start being an actress before getting into music and becoming a huge star. It's just there's some storylines that I'm like, really? Do we need another one of these? I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, it's I agree with you. I feel like Alice in Wonderland, that storyline has sort of been played out in so many different ways in the past years that I'm like, I really don't want to see another adaptation of Alice in Wonderland, rather if it's a darker version, rather if it's a spin-off, some version. It's not her, it's just the subject.
Exactly. And I think she is the perfect person to play Alice. Like she literally is Alice in real life, like tiny little blonde girl, she is an Alice, but whatever. I will give it a chance. Let's see how it turns out. Maybe they put some amazing spin on it that gets me excited, but right now it's just hard because, like you said, it's just the Alice in Wonderland theme has been overdone so many times at this point. It's kind of like, I don't want to correlate it, but again, Batman, you're like, holy shit, how many fucking Batman movies can they come out with? Again, I go to see all of them. I get tricked into seeing all of them, but it's just a lot over and over and over again.
I'm curious if we're going to see sort of a battle between Sabrina Carpenter and Ariana Grande. Now, when I say a battle, they're both credible actresses. Mm-hmm. They both have great singing abilities, but they're sort of doing the same sort of roles and projects. I mean, Ariana Grande just did Wicked. Now we have Sabrina Carpenter doing this Alice in Wonderland thing. I mean, these two potentially be going after the same roles. Do you see that kind of happening in the future?
I can see that happening. There's enough roles in Hollywood that I think everyone will get their roles, but I can see that this is kind of the first person in that same realm who has come up, who is, I would say, fit to give Ariana a fight for her money.
Yeah. No, I agree. But Sabrina Carpenter is super talented. She is the girl of the moment. I feel like Ariana Grande, even though we did see something, you see the video of her, like a fan kind of getting a little bit aggressive with her at a premiere recently.
The fan jumped the barricade, rushed her. But I don't know if you recognize that guy. He's done this to everyone. He's jumped up on stages. He's like a serial jump the barricade kind of guy that just does it for press. He's been banned from like all kinds of concerts and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm curious if like Ariana Grande is sort of, I want to say she's out of the public eye a lot. Mm-hmm. Like she's not working it like Sabrina Carpenter is. So if anything, if I was Ariana Grande, I'd be a little bit nervous that Sabrina Carpenter is coming for your roles. This girl's working hard. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Number two,
Jimmy Kimmel lost his best friend this week and had a very heartfelt monologue that it was dedicated to his band leader, Cleto Escobedo, and who has been his best friend since the age of, I believe, 7 or 8. They met in Las Vegas many, many years ago. They hit it off. They have been the best of friends. And actually, when Jimmy started up his TV show, said Cleto, who was a saxophone player who has performed with Paula Abdul and Mark Anthony and all of these huge acts. He said, hey, I want you to come and I want you to be my band leader and I want you to ride this journey with me. And he has been the band leader for 23 years. Cleto's father is also in the band. You know how Jimmy does that. He brings in a lot of his family and friends, and like has them surrounding him at his TV show. And Jimmy went up on stage and said, "I want to break some news, but my best friend passed away at the age of 59." And did this beautiful monologue dedicated to Cleto and remembering him. And Cleto's father was there, his mother, and it was really sad. It was a really, really sad moment that just broke my heart. And Adam, I don't know if you know, but I knew Cleto for many years. We met back at Matt Goss's birthday party. I don't know if you know who Matt Goss is. He's a pretty famous singer over in the UK. We met at his birthday party and instantly hit it off. He was like one of those guys in Hollywood where everyone has these egos, and Cleto did not. He was down to earth. He was awesome. He was super funny. And I think we met back in 2013. And, you know, it was like a week later, we got our wives together and we're going out to dinner. And I would see him. I mean, I don't live in LA, but I would see him every once in a while. I'd go up to the show or see him here or there. We used to text all the time. And I knew that he was in the hospital recently, just because I saw his wife post that on their 18th wedding anniversary, he was in the hospital. But up until that point, I didn't know. He was in there apparently for about 3 months. And so I honestly, I don't even know how he passed away. They haven't really said anything. Jimmy did not reveal it in his monologue. But this one broke my heart because Cleto is just an amazing, amazing person. And it's so sad, dude. He's a great guy.
Sad. I think also is sort of unique because, you know, there's been a lot of news happening with Jimmy Kimmel over the last few weeks with stuff going on in the news and Trump. And then when his show kind of took a hiatus off an episode, everyone's questioning what happened. And they thought of the total opposite. I mean, they didn't think of a death. They thought of something happened between ABC and Trump, that something was going on, but it was something complete opposite. And there was a loss of a huge part of the show from the beginning. So yeah, it's I'm sure it's pretty tough for the show, and you got to think of what you're going to do to replace, but also it's his friend. Yeah, it's just very sad.
Like literally his best friend. Like they slept over at each other's houses growing up, and you know, like Cleto's parents are like Jimmy's parents to him. I mean, you could see the heartbreak, and I was actually pretty impressed that he was able to get up and say the monologue that he did and keep it together as well as he did, because you know I've gone through that same loss of losing a best friend. It is a rough one. But anyway, Cleto, we will miss you, buddy. Love you. Sucks, dude. Really sucks.
Yeah, sad. Dax, the number one story of the week.
Number one story of the week. Everyone was wondering, where the hell was Timothée Chalamet? Why was he not at Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party? Everyone else on the planet was there with Oprah, Mariah Carey. You know, you've got Bill Gates was there, Mark Zuckerberg. You have Jay-Z and Beyonce, Meghan and Harry were there. Like everyone. Where was Timothée? Well, come to find out, like a lot of people started to say, oh, is him and Kylie not doing well? Is that why he is not there? Well, apparently he's just been really busy. He's been filming movies. Him and Kylie are doing just fine. They apparently FaceTime every single day, but he's filming like the Dune, the third movie or the third installment of that trilogy. And so he could not make it to the biggest event of the year. But that doesn't mean that they are not fine. So everyone can relax now.
This was the number one story of the week, the Kris Jenner birthday party. I think people are surprised of where the party was at. It was at Jeff Bezos and his partner, well, his wife, Lauren Sanchez's house, but it's Jeff Bezos'
$175 million mansion in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, Kris Jenner was throwing her birthday party at one of the richest people in the world's home. So I think, and then people are curious about the attendance, like who was there. Obviously, we said from Oprah to, Mark Zuckerberg to Bill Gates to, Beyonce, Jay-Z. It was the party. It was a 007 theme. You know what I was thinking about? We talked about this party earlier in the week on our regular episode. And, at this party, they had, we weren't allowed to bring your phones in. You had to check in your phone. It sounds so random, Dax, but I was so curious what the bathroom situation at this party is, because you go to like an event. If this party was thrown at, let's just say, a catering hall or some sort of restaurant, you go into a bathroom, there's like 7 urinals or like 3 toilets. Is everyone waiting around one toilet at the, at Bezos' house when they have to go to the bathroom? Like, what do they do? Did they bring porta-johns? What do you do in this situation?
So they have, and this happens on a lot of like movie productions, they get these really nice porta potties. They're not like the kind that you see where it's just like one door and you walk in and it smells and you can look down and you see all the crap. They're really nice ones that it's like stairs up and they almost look like a bathroom. You walk in, there's a sink, there's toilets, there's urinals, there's the whole thing. And they're just beautiful. I am almost positive that's what they would have done. Get a bunch of those. They're clean. The toilet's flush. You don't see poop. That's what you get for big stars like that. And they expect it because they see them all the time on backlots and movie sets and big events.
Yeah, but you're still in a tux. I mean, I don't know. I think I've been in stuff like this. Now, again, if you're Jeff Bezos, I don't know if you have the most upscale of those sort of trailer type bathrooms, because you're still going.
He's going to rent it. Why would he keep that? That's gross. He
wouldn't say keep it. I'm saying if you rent I've been in good of those. Like, I know what you're talking about. They're like trailer type bathrooms.
Yeah.
They're trailers, but they have like a few bath toilets in there. But I don't know if they're like really like even more upscale, like big enough where they have a bathroom attendant in them. Like.
Yep.
I didn't know how that works. Can you imagine being a bathroom? Wait, by the way, can you imagine being a bathroom attendant at the Kris Jenner birthday party? I mean, that's going to be so crazy. I would sit there and have a time watch on my phone, like a stopwatch, and I would time how long every single person's in the toilet, because either they peed, they're pooping, or they're doing coke. It's one of those 3. Like, why are they in the bathroom? Either they're peeing. Oh, let's say Jay-Z has been in the bathroom for 2.5 minutes. He's definitely pooping. If it was 45 seconds, he's peeing. But if he's in there for 7 minutes, he's doing blow. Not saying he did, but I'm just saying that's not saying he did, but I'm just saying that's what you'd be kind of in my head. That's what I'd be thinking. And then I have such gross things when it comes to that stuff. Like, but never mind.
The other big story is Meghan and Harry's photos all disappeared from this party. What
is up with that? Yeah, what happened there?
Kim and Kris, both in their carousel of photos from the event, had photos of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Then they just quietly disappeared out of the carousels, and they were gone. My assumption is Meghan or Harry called them up and said, "Hey guys, thanks so much for posting photos, but we would rather you not have our photos up on social media," which is weird because they took a lot of photos at the event. It's not like they're gone out of existence. You can look on every website and you see all the different photos. They were posing for photos, so it wasn't like they were nervous about being seen. We have yet to see Jay-Z and Beyonce photos. I have not seen a single one of them. So clearly, if you didn't want to be seen, you could manage to not be seen. They were posing. They were walking around. Why you would decide to have them pulled seems very weird. There was a lot of stories how, the royal insiders were so unimpressed that they would show up to Kris Jenner's party. I'm like, shut up. It's Kris Jenner's party. Yeah. It's got all Hollywood royalty there. Them being there, I did not think was a bad thing whatsoever. I don't care about it being a bad thing for the reputation. They are royalty here, and they went to a party for American royalty at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Weird to have it pulled.
We don't know the story. Maybe we find out about that on a coming episode of the Kardashians, why those photos were pulled. I don't know. There's a lot of speculation what could be there.
I think we will never hear the reason moving forward. I think this is something that just disappears after 3 news cycles. It's gone.
That's it. That is our Raw Rundown. Thank you guys for tuning in or watching. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Check out our private Facebook group, Off the Record, fun community. We all talk to each other. If you're at BravoCon this weekend, say hi to Dax and buy him a shot. Yeah, do a shot with Dax. Help him out with his problem. And then follow me at Adam Glyn. Follow Dax Holt at Dax Holt. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. Guys, hope you liked that video. We got a lot more where that came from.
Hit that bell, like, subscribe, share with a friend. The best thing you do to support us is really doing that. And we really need the money because we need hair gel.